In this video, we're starting our laundry room makeover. We are starting with a very, very blank slate. This is just your average, basic looking laundry room with basic laminate cabinets, which don't match each other, by the way. Since we bought our house, I have had a vision for how this room is going to look. I'm thinking a bit vintage, a little cottagey, you know me, a little relaxed, but also elegant at the same time. And I've always pictured beadboard on the lower half of the walls, painted in some dark brown or burgundy color. I want polished brass accents, wallpaper, and a moody, darker vibe with wood tones to warm it up. It's definitely the boldest design that I've done so far because I've been trying to get more comfortable incorporating color and boldness in my designs. I have lots of exciting goals for this room, but first, I've got to start with just building a solid foundation for a great room design. In this video, we'll be doing so many fun things like demoing the cabinets, scraping the popcorn ceiling, and installing beadboard and trim to add elegance and character to this basic room. I hope you'll follow along with this very fun laundry room makeover series, so make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Let's go. Things are happening. Woohoo! It's empty. Now time to take down the cabinets. Oh! I cannot. Definitely have this under control. Oh, Lord. Why'd you turn the faucet on? A little bit of a sketchy operation here. Mm-hmm. Woo! All right. Okay, there it is. Ooh, look at all those colors. So beautiful. We'll be right back. Well, cabinets are out. Boob light is gone. And it's time to scrape the popcorn ceiling. So first, I'm gonna cover the floor with plastic. So my understanding is that if we just spritz this with water and wait a few minutes, it'll come off pretty easily. So, yeah. Always safety for lungs and for hair. Oh my gosh, it's coming off so easily. It is easy. This is so fun. I highly recommend everyone do this. It's not as scary as it seems. That literally took 20 minutes. Not bad. Our ceilings, if you can't tell, actually were not primed before they put up the popcorn ceiling because otherwise it would just be completely white with primer. So interesting. They did not do that right, but that's okay because it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, I'm so glad it's gone. We've just got a huge mess to clean up now. And sadly, it didn't all stay on the plastic. I'm super proud of us for everything we got done yesterday. We got everything cleared out. We got the popcorn ceiling scraped, and now we can prep the room for everything else we're gonna do to it. Today, the goals are to use this spackling to patch all the imperfections in the ceiling and the walls, and then we're gonna sand that down nice and smooth, and then clean everything up and put a layer of primer on this ceiling because this ceiling has never been primed. Our neighbor told us that the houses in our neighborhood had the popcorn ceiling put up and the builders did not prime the ceilings first. So the rest of our house was actually scraped by a previous owner. And that's because their popcorn was literally just falling down because it had not been primed. So I guess that works out for us because I like a smooth ceiling. We've got to get some primer up here finally. For sanding the drywall, we are going to be using these mesh sanding sheets, and these are great because they don't get gunked up like regular sandpaper does, because we're going to be sanding a lot of drywall and that's very gunky and powdery. So these are going to work great, and you can rinse these off afterwards and keep reusing them. Today is a super exciting day because we're starting beadboard today. And I just think the room's really gonna start feeling like something's happening once I get that on the walls. In preparation for that, we've had to do some electrical stuff because the beadboard will basically be adding about a 1/4 inch of thickness to the wall. And so the outlets, of course, have to be flush with that according to code. So we've had to add some extender boxes to the outlets. And while we were at it, we are gonna go ahead, or we've already gone ahead and updated the outlets themselves and the light switches because they're that old, like an almond color, and they're just really old. So we updated those to look nice and fresh and new. Also updated our dryer outlet because that one was just really crusty. So we updated that. We do have a little bit of electrical work left to do, but we're gonna go ahead and get started on the beadboard. I also just want to say thank you so much to my neighbor. She came over last night to help us last minute with some electrical stuff that we were not sure about. She's just the best. And honestly, I should just say this video is only possible because of her, because she's let us borrow so many tools for this that we just didn't have. And she's just awesome like that. So thank you so much, Christina, for all of the tools you've let us borrow. And let's go ahead and get this beadboard up. I can't wait. So the first thing we're doing is going around the entire room and marking where our studs are so that when we're nailing it in the beadboard, wherever we can, we're going to nail it into the studs. We're going to start with this main piece, since this wall here is the focal point of the room when you first walk in. We're going to put this here because it doesn't take up the entire wall, and so there will be a cut that we have to do right here for a smaller piece, and we want to hide that. It won't be super obvious, but hide them when you can. And we're leaving our existing baseboards, and we're just gonna set the beadboard on top of the baseboard like that. And we'll be using liquid nails and brad nails to attach it. Well, we have a defective tube of caulk, or tube of liquid nails. It wasn't open, but it must be dried, and it just busted it. So to the store. Okay, we just got back with another tube of liquid nails. Yeah, it's like a jeez. No, don't eat it. Oh my gosh.
Leave it.
Okay. All right. Well, it works. We're just gonna do a worm of this on here. And we do the liquid nails in addition to the actual nails because we want this to not warp over time. Double check that it's level, and then I'll nail it. So if you're doing this, you might run into the same problem we're running into, which is that the beadboard doesn't really have room in some places to sit on top of the baseboard because the old caulking on the top of the baseboard is so thick in some places that there's no place to set the beadboard. What we're doing is just kind of scraping off some of that extra caulk a little bit so it can sit flatter. So that might come in handy for you. We ended up having this little offcut piece that is the perfect size for next to the window. Could not have planned that better. So it's a new day and we are about to hang this panel of beadboard up here, but we've got to make a cut for the dryer outlet. And so I wanted to show you the trick that we'll be doing to do that. Basically, you just take your outlet plate and you put some double-sided tape, or you just roll over some painter's tape on itself to make it double-sided. And then you're just gonna set it on there loosely. And when we put the panel up here, it's gonna press against that, and ideally, this plate will stick to the beadboard, and then we'll know exactly where our cut needs to be. And we'll just cut it a little smaller than this since we want the plate to cover it. Nice. Yeah. Feels solid. This piece took us the longest because we had to cut all of this and the place where the dryer vent goes. This one, we didn't get this perfect, but that's okay. The plate will cover most of that. And then we stopped it here. At this moment, we do not have a GFCI outlet here, and we need one since it's close to our water source. So we're gonna go ahead and get this switched out. We've officially made it to our last piece of beadboard. I'm so excited. So I wanted to tell you what our plan is for this little space, because I feel like what we're doing is a little bit different, I guess. So we have this washer outlet box here, and it's a pretty old one, I would say, and eventually it will need to be replaced, but that's something we want to wait until we've got some other plumbing stuff going on and we already have a plumber coming and they can just add this to the itinerary that day. There's no issues with it. It doesn't have to be replaced, but in the future it would be nice. So to replace one of these, they will have to cut out the sheetrock underneath it and a little bit on the side so they can access the studs to attach it to. So at that point, when that day comes, we don't want them to have to rip out all of our beautiful beadboard work. So the plan is that we've attached all these panels around it. Then we've cut this panel, which will fit here. And we're not gonna glue this one in. We're gonna screw this one in actually so it can be removed when the time comes. So it's almost like creating a little removable panel. so that we can access the drywall behind it. And then at that point, when we do already have a hole in our drywall, the plan is to put in a permanent access panel that for any future updates or anything that has to be done behind the wall here, we'll be able to just open up a door and we can put a piece of beadboard on the door so it blends in. So that's like a couple steps down the road. But for now, we'll have this temporary panel screwed in and not glued so that we can access that when the time comes. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Today is exciting. We went to the hardware store and picked up our trim for the top of the beadboard. So we're gonna install that and then we can officially say that the beadboard is done and we can move on. So to kind of give you an idea of what it's gonna look like, we picked up this piece that's just a flat piece and it has like a rounded bottom part. That'll go here. And then we got this piece, which, oh my gosh, I am whacking everything with these. They're so long. This has like a lip on it, and so it will be able to sit right on top of this and look kind of like that, which I think will be a really clean and timeless look. So I bought a wooden switch plate cover for this so that I can paint it. And also because I knew we'd run into a problem here with the trim running into this outlet plate cover, we just cut off the top of this to be flush with the beadboard. So that way, when this is here, flush with that, and we put our top piece on, the top piece kind of covers up with the lip, this and that, so you really can't see the seam. I think that's probably the best solution for making this not look like an awkwardly cut space. Our evil plan is working. Looking good. The first and most difficult wall of top trim is done. It looks so good. One of the reasons we went with this style of trim was also because we have a lot of height differences in our panels of beadboard. Most of them, actually probably all of them, do not line up with each other height-wise. And so we kind of had to strategically plan our top piece so that it would like actually cover the discrepancies in the height. One of the reasons that is because our floors are not level, of course. Our baseboards are not level. I feel like everybody's gonna have that problem in their house probably. But also something that you can consider if you do this project is that we had the hardware store cut down our pieces to 4 feet. So our beadboard panels were at 8 feet tall. We had them cut them in half at 4 feet. We asked them to please cut it in half at 4 feet, and they did, but somehow 3 of our pieces ended up shorter than the other 3 pieces. And so there was about this much height difference between those 2 pieces. So I guess the beadboard panels were like a little bit over 8 feet long, and when they cut it at 4 feet, it just wasn't exactly half. So you may run into that issue. Maybe just have the hardware store cut them in half, not really at like 4 feet. But yeah, you might just have to strategically plan your trim to cover that up. The beadboard really makes this room feel like it belongs in a much more expensive house. I am so excited to continue this makeover in part 2 of this laundry room series. And as a reminder, this is what we're aiming for in here. Next, I'll be picking a pink color that's really bold for me and installing some gorgeous yet affordable wallpaper that I can't wait to show you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye guys.